first things first, have you ever heard of the Table Talk series, right? Part 1 and 2 featured short, funny family devotionals that start with a real-life kid's quote. They are often hilarious and transition from an aspect of that quote into a thought about God or life and turn it towards a biblical perspective. Backed by popular demand is Part 3, and we're joined by the author and co-host of A Better Us, Danielle MaCauley. Welcome, Danielle. Welcome back, I should say.
Hello, Lori and Bill. Thank you for having me back.
Well, you know what? I just love this series called Table Talk. It's a great resource for families. This is your third book in that
It is.
series. And tell us why you started writing these books and what ages they're written for.
Yeah, so just actually right now in my living room, I have hundreds of books stacked up to be sent out of Table Talk 3. I have them here, but I also have 1 and 2. So you're right. This is the third project. And I'll tell you, before I was an author, I was a mom. And I was looking for resources, for tools that I could use to engage my own kids. And what I found was, we did a few here and there. And then there was just really, I was having trouble finding something that would really engage my boys. And also, I live with 3 men, 2 little ones and 1 not so little one. And it is hard to pull conversation out of them. And so that's why I called it Table Talk. It was intentionally a little selfish for me to write for my own family, to draw conversation out of them and meaningful memories around the table and biblical truth. But I hope it blesses other families as well, as much as it has us.
Oh, I'm sure it will. And, I love your approach because you start with humor, which is a great place to start. Especially when you got boys around your table, right? And
Exactly.
you quote the funny things kids say. And when I was reading through it, this one really made me laugh. The kid said, Mom says, "I'm going to miss you when you go to kindergarten, honey." And the little 5-year-old responds with, "I'm going to miss you too, but it's a chance for me to have a better life." Like,
That's right.
that's hilarious. Why is
Yeah.
humor so important in our families?
Yeah, so we always say we will use anything it takes to draw kids in and to teach them about Jesus and to have a love for the Bible. So we're going to get in on their level. I can't promise that every single devotional will have 100% appropriate dinner conversation. There may be a little bit of fun in the pages, but that's what we want to do. We want to get them hooked and do a little bait and switch and we always say, we'll turn boogers into Bible. If you want to talk about boogers, we'll do it, and then we'll turn it into Bible teaching. And so that's just what I wanted to do, was engage my own kids, help other parents engage their kids. And then, it's just quick, easy, fun, little devotionals that turn into open-ended conversation. There's some conversation starters that I hope will add some fun and conversation around the table. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've been sitting at our table, because those kind of conversations, it's very real. And I love that you engage kids with the humor and just there's a lot of creative ideas because honestly, I think sometimes we are far too serious in our family. So I really appreciate that you're using that to engage everyone in the family. So tell me, what are 2 or 3 key topics that you cover in the book and why are they important?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say it has been a couple of years, hasn't it? It's been a hard couple of years for family. And so I hope and I want these books to add some new life and make new fun memories for families. And so that's really my heart behind it. But so we start off with really practical topics, things like rules and why we have them, and healthy habits, developing healthy habits. How about conflict resolution? So things that we deal with in our home, and what does God and what does the Bible say about those things? But then also just some real foundational biblical truths, things like grace and miracles and who we are in Christ and who Jesus is. So there's a mixed bag of all things that I hope will be really relevant to every family.
That's so good because you want to talk about those things like rules, but sometimes you don't know how to approach it, right? Do you find that this tool, in essence, is enabling parents to have conversation with their kids about important topics that maybe they wouldn't normally go there?
Exactly. And there's been obviously thought put into this from my end. So let's research and let's find out why our rules to, taking that example, our rules to just take away the fun. No, rules are actually boundary lines that help us to contain the fun, to keep the fun from running out, because sometimes when we cross a line, then the fun runs out. And obviously, we talk about why God gives us those tools. And so those are just some topics that will help parents. I give them the beginnings, the breadcrumbs, and then hopefully they can keep going and just use it for open-ended discussion around their table.
Yeah, as you said, conversation starters, which I know when my kids were young, we often used devotional books, and it was a great way to engage everyone in conversation. I got two boys and a girl, and I agree with you. You have to work at pulling things out of your boys sometimes, so, and my
Amen. Yep.
daughter. Well, thank you
Yeah.
for this amazing tool. What's your hope for families that use this devotional book?
Yeah, I mean, I hope again, it was a selfish tool for me. And now I want to put it out there for other families because it's helped us so much to share our thoughts, things that we would never even think to talk about, and to just have meaningful moments. There's even fun little games that I leave for the end of each devotional that just have some, crazy things around the table that we can look back on in our life and go, hey, remember when mom and dad tried to race and do this fun thing? Or remember when we had a contest to see who could finish the broccoli first, or whatever it may be? Allowing families to have those memories while building biblical truths that will last forever. And God says, train them up in the way they should go, and they will not depart. And that is my hope.
Well, I think it's fantastic. Life is busy and can be hard. And to navigate with as a parent, we need tools. So thank you, Danielle, for creating this once again, a great resource. If you want to get a copy of Table Talk 3, go to 700club.ca. Thank you so much, Danielle.
Thank you, Lori. It was great chatting with you.
You too.